Alright, lock in once again because today I'm going to be ranting on this lame brain season of Big Brother, Reindeer Games, or Dasher's Disaster, which is what it should be called. This shouldn't have even been a season, and I'm going to get into that later. But yeah, it's time to get in here. First off, I gotta start with the cast. It's alright, but definitely not the best. First, the Abominable just shouldn't be there. I already made a whole video about their horrible game. Definitely the most undeserving winner ever. Their game is so bad that there's legitimate total drama comic relief characters that played a better game than them. Also, ever since that video, even more information has come out about the production rigging that went into that season, and more information came out about the type of person that they are. Not a good player, not a good person, so they had no case to be on this season, especially a holiday themed season at that. Like, that's the most wonderful time of the year. It's supposed to be associated with good times and giving, not narcissism, selfishness, and ego. Next up, Josh shouldn't be there. Respectable guy, but he's one of the worst winners ever, and he's not even good TV to make up for that fact. Open and shut case. Moving on. Finally, Space Cowboy. Now, I will say that he got a raw deal from the online community, just like every man in Big Brother 25, outside of Corey and maybe Heisem. Space Cowboy was called a creep all season, and there were calls to expel him from the game when, yeah, you might have gotten uncomfortable with the Riley and America stuff. I didn't, because America kept on coming back to him. But regardless, like his behavior or not, to my knowledge, he didn't actually break any rules, whereas Jared, Luke, and Kirsten broke rules because of the zero tolerance policy. And I don't care that Kirsten was black while saying the N-word, because it's a zero tolerance policy, and you shouldn't use that word anyways, regardless of race, because it's massively disrespectful and traumatizing to black people of the past from slavery and segregation times. Anyways, the guy didn't break a rule, so he shouldn't have even been in conversations with people that said slurs. But it's an openly misandrous community, especially online. It's a community that takes each and every opportunity to hate on men, so I'm not surprised at all. I'm just calling it out for documentation purposes. And although it's technically a vocal minority, these are the folks that the show has been pandering to as of late. Man, woman, whatever. If you hate on someone because of their gender, then you're an idiot and you need to get your life together. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, I don't believe that Space Cowboy is a creep, so there's that. But with that being said, was he really a fit for this cast? He was somewhat of a comp beast, but by the end of it all, Jag broke the all-time comp record, and I wouldn't say that Space Cowboy was an entertaining personality. I understand why they'd want to have someone from the most recent season being on this cast to feed into this season to take over some of that audience, but I would have rather seen someone else over anyone from Boring Brother 25. That season was garbage. Plus, Space Cowboy got ganged up on in the first episode because he was the new guy and everyone already had connections going in, so this casting choice made no sense at all. He shouldn't have even been there, but he got screwed over for sure. Big time. But yeah, outside of the three rejects, the cast is alright, I guess. Like, they deserve to be there based on the games that they played, but the big flaw with this cast is that there's too many winners, too many high placers. They prioritize that over getting entertaining players and mixing them in with winners. The only entertaining player was Cody, but when he got eliminated in the second episode, there was no one left for the rest of the season. It was a boring season from that point on. My main problem with this show revolves around the challenges. Not just the challenges themselves, but everything that came from them. This was propped up to be a challenge-based show, so I hate that immediately all of the guys had targets on their backs, especially coming off the back of Big Brother 25, where there was a lot of outrage about the Minutemen, Matt and Jag, comping their way to the end of the game, and there was a lot of complaining about how the challenges were too physical. Before even seeing what the challenges looked like, the women, mainly Danielle, talked about how the men needed to go because they just assumed that they'd be good at the challenges. But even when the challenges got revealed to be more quote unquote equitable, I'll talk about that some more, but even when that got revealed, they were still on this guys need to go thing. Because of this mindset, that's how Cody, Frankie, and Xavier all ended up in Santa's showdown in episode 2, where one of them was guaranteed to get eliminated. When Cody got eliminated, that took any life out of this season that it potentially had, and I just hate how he had to go out this way. Not because he earned it with his gameplay on this season, but it was because the women were stuck on targeting men, despite by the end of it all, Cody having a 1-4 competition record on this season. It's just really hard to enjoy and respect the game when people make decisions based on gender like that. Like, I'm not signing up to see that. Next, the equitable comps aren't even equitable. Not equitable here and not equitable on Big Brother 26. Just because women were winning more comps here than they were in Big Brother 25, that doesn't necessarily mean that the comps were equitable. Actually, I know for sure that the first challenge with the balance beam and the Tiny Vito ripoff were catered towards women, and that's not all. Those were just the egregious examples of comps clearly not being equitable for everyone. They didn't actually make the comps equitable, they slanted some in favor of the women, which can even out the results some potentially, but that doesn't mean that the comps were equitable, because like I just said, if they were equitable, then they wouldn't have to slant comps towards women and put the men at a disadvantage. This equitable stuff even went into Big Brother 26, which I'm probably not going to make a full video on that Mickey Mouse Magic Kingdom Cup type of season, so I'm just going to get my stuff off here. The most annoying thing was hearing Mackenzie and Chelsea trash Cam for not winning comps when the comps were never in his favor. Like, he was a D1 athlete, and that was said a million times, but where exactly was the Cam comp? Where was the comp where any of that would come into play? It's nowhere to be found, so the D1 stuff meant nothing. There were just way too many puzzle type comps in this season, which isn't equitable. Like, some people are bad at puzzles. Also, everyone's brain doesn't function at the same rate. So it was frustrating to see the comps get stacked in Mackenzie and Chelsea's favor, then they act like they're beating Cam in NFL scouting combines or suicide drills or something like that when they're just beating him in carnival games. They took away all of the physical stuff and made the game not equitable, but easier for women at this current stage of Big Brother, which is ridiculous. Big Brother and the fans should just realize that there's no such thing as equitable comps. The comps aren't going to be equitable for everyone, where everyone has the same percentage chance to win. Never gonna happen, just give it up. In a physical comp, have to worry about the people that are physically weaker. In a mental comp, have to worry about the people with a low IQ level. In a more random comp, it's random. There's no skill involved, which if I were sitting on the block, I don't want to compete in and lose the game because of a luck-based comp. And even looking at the game overall, I can say that it isn't even equitable because people grow up in different environments. They have different experiences in life that can impact how well they perform socially in the game. But anyways, back to the comps. Equitable comps that are both equitable for men and women just aren't going to happen. Like, in everything, someone's going to have an advantage. Even if the women and men somehow both had a 50% win percentage in comps, that still doesn't necessarily mean that the comps were equitable. Men can hypothetically win 90% or 100% of the comps, but based on the context, that wouldn't necessarily automatically mean that the comps are inequitable just because of the result. And that's the main thing that I'm trying to say. The comp equity discourse is so results based, so results oriented. If a man wins, it's inequitable, but if a woman wins, it's equitable, when the comps can still very well be equitable or inequitable regardless of the results. Like, a guy can win 9 comps and those could very well be perfectly equitable comps regardless of the result, and That's something that people need to understand when talking about comp equity in such a results-oriented way. An example of this in Dasher's Disaster is when Frankie won the balance beam type of comp. Yeah, he won, nice win, but the comp wasn't equitable towards him. It didn't favor guys, it favored the lighter women. Yeah, a man won, but process-wise, it favored women, so it's not equitable, and the same can be said for a lot of comps in Big Brother history. I'm just saying that the most insufferable part of this season were the comps and everything that stemmed from it, like the novice level discourse, the targeting of men so early on. Also, a lot of the comps were lame to begin with. All of the naughty or nice challenges were just running around the house and finding stuff. I also hate Big Brother 25's and Dasher's Disaster's impact on the following season and what could be future seasons. Maybe. With the state that the show is in, I don't want to guarantee or speak as if the show will be getting future seasons. So the cast was boring, the comps were boring and unfair, and the cast played in a very illogical way based on gender. The only good moment was Nicole beating the Abominable and not letting them get another undeserved Mickey Mouse Disney World Bubble Championship type of win. Not like any of this Rudolph, Donner, Dasher, Blitz and stuff actually counts towards their Big Brother legacy, but that was a fun moment for sure. Nicole was annoying with all of that crying, but I'll take her win over the possibility of the other person winning any day of the week and twice on Sundays. But outside of that, the season isn't a horrible season, but it was a boring season. It's a waste of time for sure. It's more filler than when Ash and Misty went to the Orange Islands without Brock. And it's really a shame that this is what got greenlit rather than a celebrity season or a shortened winter season or some type of legend season. This is the best they could come up with, and considering its negative impact on future seasons, yeah, they should have left this one in the drafts. They did not cook with this one, and the fact that at the Big Brother 26 finale, they didn't announce that Dasher's Disaster is coming back, that sounds promising. Hopefully that holds up. They tried it and it's clear that it just doesn't need to be a yearly thing. Try something else. Take advantage of Big Brother Canada being canceled and make a spring season or something. I don't know, but just anything other than Dasher's Disaster. But yeah, that's everything really. Stay strong, stay focused, and above all else, it's anything to win.